All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We still waiting some participants. Welcome to this afternoon session. So we hope you are in the good health and in the good mood, especially in the mid of February 2023. So we have a lot of changes, especially just last week we experienced quite bad weather in several countries, and one of them in Turkey, and also in in certain places in Southeast Asia. So we experienced a lot of climate change, and beside it, I will see a lot of changes in the entrepreneurship and leadership. So in the leadership, actually, we have in the recession, we need to adjust, and we can experience before pandemic and after pandemic. So now we are glad this afternoon we have our guest speaker to share regarding the leadership in recession, Rubyni. So I believe Rubyni now already can be a co-host, right? So can share the presentation. So without further ado, I will invite Rubyni to introduce yourself and also to share about the leadership success in the recession. A little bit background of me and Rubyni. I'm a BISA founder, and we just met up Rubyni, I think last 2 weeks. It's quite nice meeting in Sengkang, Singapore. And now we are glad because Rubyni, very talented person. She can speak English very well and Bahasa also very well. Maybe Rubyni, you can introduce yourself. After that, we can very simple casual meeting today, and after that, we can using this presentation to spread to our network. Yeah, please, Rubyni.
Thank you so much, Stephanus. I appreciate the introduction. And hello, I'm so happy to be able to, present this to BISA and whoever is watching it after this also. As you rightly mentioned, so many things are happening in the region right now. And especially why I started doing this sort of workshop with people is because so many are talking about how, oh, there's going to be recession, things are going to get worse and this and that. So I created this, and I've been going to companies to talk about it with leadership, more about how to succeed despite any upcoming ups and downs that are going to happen in the region. And so I presented this at about, I think, 15 companies in the last 1.5 months, but it's a very quick workshop that I'm happy to do here. A little bit about myself a bit later on, but first let me start my presentation. In a good way, we can think about it that leadership success is always about us having to do more and more as a leader in terms of how we handle problems or how we get our teams to do better, and how we need to always be a motivating factor in our companies. And what I do as a whole, I lead a company and I lead a small team in a company called XfinitySG. I'm a leadership coach. I work one-on-one with business owners or team leaders, VPs or SVPs on how to better themselves in their success when they are working with their teams, or even in their own life as a life coach as well. I also help companies grow through go-to-market strategy or to business advisory. And I work with teams in companies to create high performance. I'm on the board member of 3 companies, so I understand early stage or mature company growth. And I'm happy to be sharing this presentation or workshop with you today. So the background is, as Stephanus mentioned, we met over coffee and very quickly we got in sync in terms of what's coming up for businesses and what's coming up for leaders. And my viewpoint is always, how can we prepare differently to have a victor instead of a failure mindset? How to focus on growth and what are the aspects as a leader that we want to look at so that our company can thrive or our product and service can thrive regardless of any dips or regardless of anything that is slumping in the economy around us. Ultimately, all we want in life is success. Success in work, success for our teams, success for our families, and success individually. So how do we get there in a better way? That's something that I help leaders coach on. So the solution that we need is when difficult times are ahead and you're hearing it on the news, you're seeing it in the media, how do you feel and how do you think about things first? And how do you communicate and give assurance to your team or to your companies? So the 3 things that we need solutions around. First is teams. How to lead teams, how to get them to feel assured that, you know, things can be balanced, we are okay, things can move forward if we have a clear plan ahead. The second one is in product or R&D. So things around how to ensure that your product stays in demand or in the mind share of your customers, and how R&D can support product creation or development despite any dips in the economy today. And the third one is technology. Technology is the favorite topic of so many people in terms of understanding technology, how to make it work for you and not against you. So it's not about using the most advanced technology immediately as soon as it comes up. It is about how to make it work for the company in the way the company needs, right? So in a way, I want to hear from you also. We have a few participants on this call today, and this is very objective and anonymous in a way. But if you can chat with me and tell me, how do you feel or what is your emotion when you think about the year ahead for yourself personally? You can just put a few keywords or a few types of action words that you feel for the year ahead. Can you help me chat in the Zoom chat now, please? For me, I'm feeling excited. Optimistic, very good. How about the others? How do you feel internally for yourself for the year ahead? Don't be shy. It's just a small group of us. Who can tell me, how do you feel about the year ahead? Who do we have here? Oh, we have more people joining us. That's great. You joined at the right time. I'm just asking you, what emotion or feeling do you have for the year ahead personally? We have excited from me and optimistic from Stephanus. Anyone else want to share? No? Okay. Another question maybe is easier to answer instead of talking about yourself. How do you think your team members or your business or things at work, how do you think the business is feeling right now? Is it feeling optimistic still? Is it feeling, oh, I need to handle a lot of things in the future? Or is it feeling, can I handle the future in 2023? How do you think your business or your teams are feeling now? Anybody want to chat? Oh, okay. Thank you so much for highlighting that. Stephanus, I think the chat is disabled for the participants. Can we
Okay,
allow the chat?
I will check.
Okay, thank you so much.
Participant can check.
Okay, now we have the chat open to all participants. Thank you for highlighting that. So maybe let me ask again. How do you feel in your emotion, in your feeling, in your mind? How do you feel about the year ahead? Anyone want to chat now that the chat is open? Please enter a word or feeling or action. I'm ready to take on the world. Anyone want to share?
If they want to talk, also can.
Sure. How about how you think work is feeling? Do you feel like you're ready and excited to learn? Stephanus said more collaboration needed ahead. Anything else teams are feeling or businesses are feeling for the year ahead? Okay, you can answer anytime the thought comes up in your mind. Just chat and share, okay? You're sharing objectively. Don't be shy. Now, let me get into what is required for leadership when we are talking about a recession coming ahead. So we talk about leadership pre-recession. We are not in a recession. That is, first, Asia Pacific is very well positioned to handle things compared to the rest of the world. Still, we are not in it. And it's a very good distinction to make. The three key areas to hold the fort in your business, to prepare for any dips that might occur. And this is in your teams. It can be in life. It can be for a business that you own. The three things are efficiency, evolution, and empowerment. And I will go into this individually in my section ahead. Efficiency. Now, this is a little bit lecture style, but I will ask you questions after this, okay? Now, I want all of you to think about efficiency. What has it meant to us in the past? Does efficiency only mean about productivity? Does efficiency only mean about using technology? Does efficiency mean lowering the number of people required to do one task? What has efficiency meant to us in the past? A lot of times when there is any kind of fear that is happening in business and in the economy, people immediately think about cost cutting. But efficiency is not just cost cutting, right? Firms who improve their operational efficiency are doing better than those who are only focused on reducing costs. Now, this is a very important sentence. What does improving operational efficiency mean? Even if you were to take a map and map with your team members, let's say you are in logistics or supply chain or manufacturing or production or sales or marketing, any function, business owners or function heads or managers in teams. Operational efficiency means how many steps does it take to complete the task that is required at hand. Reducing the number of steps equals to having operational efficiency in the simplest form. So as we are preparing for any kind of downturn, how do you make your business fitter? How do you make your business processes healthier? Okay, and I'll give you an example. I love looking at supply chains and processes as a business consultant, because when I advise companies, sometimes in the grand strategy, in the grand vision, the smaller processes can be forgotten. So when we look at processes, let's talk about product specialization or product support or sales support. Essentially, sales is a revenue-making function, and product or sales support is to make it easier to get a revenue for the business. What are the things that you need to focus on? What are my competitors doing? What do my customers want? What are the customers seeing of my competitor that is better than my product or service? What kind of technology are companies using today? In the industry, what are the best and most recent trends around my industry in the country I'm operating in? What are some of the best practices that some companies that have great growth, what are they doing that I can learn from? When we look at these 6 things and we look at how the processes work outside of our company, we can reflect internally. What are the systems in place in marketing or sales support or product support that is helping me get revenue? Is everything streamlined so that I am looking at the best way to brand and position my product compared to everything out there, so that my customers have an easy time of coming to my company to use my service, to use my product? Even in operations, do my team members have the most streamlined way, efficient way in creating a task to completion? This is what is called reconfiguring processes in a function, to look at the number of steps and to reduce the number of steps required in order to create more efficiency on the ground operationally. Yeah. Next point, leaders. And when I say leaders, it does not only mean CEO or business owner. Everybody is a leader in their own right, in their own life. We are leading our life in our own manner, in our own best selves, right? So when we talk about leaders, it can be a team leader, it can be a director, it can be a VP, it can be a senior manager, anything, as long as you're leading a team. Leaders need to provide clarity about what is expected. Now, this sounds so obvious, but sometimes when we are so caught up in business execution, oh, we have this deadline, this needs to be done by this time, this needs to be provided to this client, my vendor needs this. When we're so caught up in business execution, sometimes teams might not have the clarity that they need to know what is expected of them. So even if it is twice a month, having an expectation conversation with your team members and giving them clarity on what they need to do their job the best that they can do is a real productivity booster, because then they see the person managing them as caring about their role and their success in their position. So when we talk about clarity, it is a bottom-up approach where people at the bottom rank and rung of your company need to also have as much clarity about what they're doing and why as the people at the top. And this is an example of a story one of the business mentors I had shared with me. In a car or automotive manufacturing firm, they had asked one of the line workers, he said, "What do you do?" He said, "Oh, I take the nut and I put it there and I ensure that it is tight. That is all I do every day. I have to do 30 cars a day and that's it. I am a nut configurer." 1 week later, they showed this same individual a video about the car that he was creating. And he was showing how Gaia and how great and how fashionable the car was. It was one of the top-notch cars that was a hybrid car. And by showing this video to this individual and creating that understanding on the vision of what this individual was doing, after the video, they asked him again, "What do you do?" He said, "I create breakthrough vehicles for people to use today." But he was just putting in a bolt in a nut. But having that understanding, having that expectation, and knowing the larger cause that he was a part of motivated him to have a new sense of purpose in the job that he was doing. And I thought that that was a very powerful example because it was such a small role. But even at the smallest role, and that's what it means bottom up, even at such a small role, having an understanding on the vision of what you are creating, in the strategy that you are supporting, makes a big difference in the person's commitment to their role and the accountability a person has for the role. So I thought that was great. Next, great leaders evoke a response in people on the front line. Everyone sees some bosses always in the conference room, on the call, only talking to the senior vice presidents, and it becomes like a very elite group that they are detached from. Only 7% of people working in Asia Pacific think that their big boss cares about them. That is a terrible statistic, right? If more people feel that their leaders see them and are interested in their well-being and their advancement in the company, bottom-up response. This allows the individual to put in their best effort and not just be working for a salary, willing to jump ship at any time things get bad. So leaders who evoke a response in all rungs of the company are able to incite a greater performance in the company for the end goal. Now we can say the end goal is revenue, but we can also reposition that to say the end goal is how the product or service is helping the people that it is meant to. Next, employees need to feel a strong sense of ownership, not just accountability. And this was in the previous examples that I shared. When a person feels the reason why they are working, the purpose of them earning the money that they're earning, of course, is for their family. But what part of the process in the company are they a part of? That is creating ownership in the individual. So they have accountability to the process, and they also have a sense of ownership. This can be done through town hall meetings or once a month conversations with individuals, or it can also be done through incentives to say, okay, in the next 1 year, if we make this much additional profit or this much margin, everyone has a huge company lunch at this fancy place, something like that, just to incite a feeling of togetherness of being one company. So that is what efficiency means. Unfortunately, a lot of people only see it as cost cutting. It is so much more than that. It is about streamlining. It is about understanding processes. It is about reducing the number of steps that it takes to create the goal. And it is also about allowing employees to feel a sense of ownership and accountability to the broader picture and the vision and strategy of the company. So now we have more people. I think maybe the chat is already open. Can I, next. Can I ask you, in the broader scheme of things, thinking about how you previously thought about efficiencies and what you just learned, can you tell me 1 or 2 keywords in the chat on what kind of efficiencies that has sparked in your mind that you can take back to work today?
Or if they want to talk, I can allow them to talk.
Sure.
Johannes, you want to talk? Please. Just now you have a question.
No. Actually, I don't have questions for this one. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any type of thought on the type of efficiencies you can take back to work today? It can be streamlining. It can be looking at one of your team's processes. It can be creating a new way to create a vision and a strategy for all levels in the company. What kind of efficiencies can you take back to work today is the question. And even if you don't chat in the Zoom chat, I hope you have a thought in your mind of what you can do for your own team or business to improve the efficiency after this conversation today.
Yeah, Rubyni, for me, now is the era of the efficiency using the technology, like Zoom, like this one, also technology. Sometimes we can avoid physical meeting just using the Zoom. So no need to go traveling 1 hour meeting, 2 hours back, 1 hour. But of course, the quality of the meeting is we need to adjust for this one.
And I agree with that. And at the same time, a lot of the networking that we used to do pre-COVID is what created the relationships that we still have now. Then again, I talk about me meeting you, Pastor Stephanus, in terms of just conversing on an online platform and then meeting to create the relationship, but after that being able to connect via technology. So the efficiency is created, but there's always a form of relationship building that's also needed. So technology definitely helps with all the platforms that we have to connect with people, whether it's social media, whether it's chat apps, whether it is on online or virtual networking events. Technology really helps us connect with global parties and partners that we can collaborate with in the future, for sure. Yes.
Maybe Andrea, you want to asking something? This Andrea is one of my partner. She arranged the Valentine flower with the florist yesterday to my wife.
Oh, that's so nice.
Andrea, do you have any comment?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Very nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Andrea.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for the discussion and for this chat. I think it's very fruitful and productive, especially in this modern world, right? We are faced with a lot of challenges, especially in the corporate. So we need to know exactly what productive and efficiency is all about. So it's very well illustrated over here.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I heard Pak Stephanus commented just now. Yeah, at my little gift shop, I actually collaborated with florists. So that's so we worked out a solution actually to bring nice Valentine Day gifts to people who just want to find something beautiful.
That's great. That's great.
That's also another way of efficiency, because we try to streamline the process faster by working with each other.
Very good. That's a perfect example of efficiency, and especially when you are working on a level of partnership. How can each type of partnership channel be the best efficient form, right?
Correct.
So even if you think about it, if you created a website where people can enter their requirements, it's for my wife, I want to show love, my budget is $80, show me what you can do, send. You can get RFQs from various partners in one day from that one type of channel that you boost. So that's a form of efficiency as well.
Wow, perfectly illustrated. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Any other comments or points on efficiency, streamlining, creating ownership?
Yeah, I will invite Pisay from Cambodia. Pisay, you can share your recruitment agency in Cambodia and how to make efficiency. Please be safe. Do you hear Pise?
Yes, hello. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot to mute.
No worries, please.
Hi, Pise. Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm joining a bit late as I just saw Mrs. Stephanus share the link.
No problem. We are talking about a few things about how you can improve your business growth through the upcoming, downturn or recession. People are all talking about it. So how can you make your company stronger now to withstand all of those things? So the first point was efficiency. We have 2 other points after this. Do you want to share maybe how you would like to create more efficiency in your recruitment agency?
Yes, so thank you for that. So regarding for working now, I think the first priority one is build up the team, because I think even though we have a good product, we have a potential market, and we have a sustainable plan, something like that. But if we do not have a proper team or the right team who can execute our plan, so I think it's not possible what we have planned, and we cannot go for that. So the most
Yes.
efficiency is build up the team to ensure that we can reuse some of the manual process and automate that, and our teamwork productivity, so that we are able to reach our plan. Because they are the one who execute our plan, who execute our idea.
And the only thing I feel like sharing as a business advisor is when they come in, as soon as they come in, instill a sense of strong ownership in your company and your product. Let them feel inspired in what you are doing and the lives that you are changing by providing jobs in various aspects or industries. So that's a good share from you, Pise.
Yes, you are right. Inspiring is one of the key factor that we use those to inspire, to motivate our team, so that we all ensure that everyone from the top to the down level, we all align each other and keep on track to our
excellent. Thank you.
Excellent, Pise.
Yeah,
So
thank
we
you.
will help you to penetrate Singapore and Southeast Asia.
Yes.
Okay,
Excellent.
next. Yeah.
So okay.
Give
So the
Rubyni, yeah. Back to Rubyni.
Yes, back to me.
Okay.
So the next topic that I want to share, if anyone else has any point to make on efficiency, we can touch upon that. Nobody else, I go to evolution.
Anyone? Shirley, Cindy, Ben, if you want to talk, I will give you. Cindy, Shirley, and please, if you have any comment.
Can you off the speaker for me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll move to evolution. Yeah. So evolution, if you think about it, what is evolution? People use the word evolution in a very big sense. Oh, evolution of the human race and evolution of new industries in 1946 and things like that. Evolution is also in how you evolve your business, right? In the simplest form, the word evolution is how you evolve. And this also means not falling prey to innovation just for the sake of innovation. The example that I gave to Andrea earlier is not a very innovative idea. It is just a combined lead generation form for channel sales for partners to ask for a RFQ on gifts and floral arrangements at the snap of a finger. It is not innovative, but it can be an evolution for the business. So I hope you are hearing my point that a lot of people always talk about innovation. Innovation in the purest form can be the smallest process. It doesn't need to be in expensive and huge technology changes. It can just be innovating a business process to evolve it to do something better. Yeah, and that's what evolving your business means. Now, a very, very important point under evolution is that there was a research study done, and companies that looked to evolve their business pre-recession, and by business, I mean product, services, distribution channel, pricing strategy, delivery models, people who look to evolve their business before any dip definitely did better than those who waited for any kind of dip in the future before handling it, right? And I don't like to say the word recession, so I'll say the word dip or downturn. But this does not mean you find the latest technology and you put it in your problem. No, because it might not be something that brings you revenue at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we want more success in our functions, in our teams, for our product, our service, and overall better top margin. So how do you improve or evolve these individual aspects? That is about finding out from every angle of people who are from the bottom, from the middle, and from the top. Tell me, they say terus terang, right? Tell me in very clear terms, what is not working? I don't want to know success. I want to know failures. What is our failures in product? What is our failure in services? How are our distribution models failing? How is our pricing failing compared to the competitor? When we are not scared of the word failure and we are very open about it, to ask about it, then we are able to evolve the certain product or function or team to make it better. Change only comes from failure. But a lot of people are still scared of the word. So I'm trying to make failure a happy word in this lifetime. Again, after talking about technology, talking about evolution for each team, I'll also talk about new product development. Now, new product development does not need to mean a lot of investment. It can be, I have this group of people who are my target audience. This group of people use my product for this reason X. If I create X plus 1, I can get a new target audience. My product needs to evolve by putting something else in it. And I'm sorry that I keep mentioning Andrea because I'm so familiar for this industry. But a simple example is from going from I love you and Valentine's Day to targeting a healthcare channel to say, get well soon. You can do it. You are a survivor. And all that changes is the little plastic pin that you insert in the flower or the cake or the gift. And it creates a new target audience, right? So new product development does not need to mean, oh, it's completely different product. No, it is just a small shift and a small change to create a new target audience for new revenue stream. Okay, evolution. Next, advertising, marketing, price strategies, these are all things that take money for sure. But if we are able to know who our ideal client is from the years of operation or from the years of business, we know who is our ideal client. We are able to narrow it down and spend money to only attract our ideal client. This is called right product, right message, right advertising. These three combined will allow you to target the best person for your product in a narrowed way. And from there, you can create new pricing strategies, new advertising budget, new advertisements in order to get this same target audience or new target audience that you have not tapped on yet. Something else about evolution, and PCA had said something about this earlier. When teams, you mentioned that, inspiration happens at all levels of the company, and that's great. Additionally to that, on top of that, when we talk about evolution, when teams are given a very clear problem to solve, and when you look at a process and you say, this process is not working well, by working, maybe it means it's not selling well, it's not communicating well, it's not marketing well, it's not delivering well, it's not reaching the right people in the right time well. When we are given a clear problem, we create a clear solution. So having a very clear understanding of what is not working in a very detailed level will help you target that problem to create a better solution out of it. So an example is, oh, in the next 3 months, I need to know my competitors' pricing so that I can reduce my price difference to the competitor by 20% by June for this area of this country for this 1 or 2 products. So that is a very clear problem and a clear solution that you want to create that you need to find out more about. Now, the next one, also about teams, is about how you establish psychological safety. Now, it's a fancy phrase, psychological safety, but all it means is when teams are open and honest and they are motivated to share with you what is not working without fear of being blamed for anything that goes wrong, this honest exchange with trust, you allow them to feel like an important member of the company so that together you are problem solving. Also, when you are leading a team or when you're not so close to the ground, you might not see the problems as fast as someone who is on the ground. So when they have that safety in mind that, oh, I can share problems without being blamed for it, then when they share it, you're able to find out faster than other people, what do I need to solve for my business today? Then you can bring in efficiency from that, the previous topic. Yeah. So when I'm talking about evolution, when I'm talking about teams to be involved and functions to be evolved, what are some of the thoughts that you have? Can you please share with me in the chat or by speaking with me? What evolution in what type of function can you take back today? Anyone want to share any evolution that you have just thought about or you have just sparked in your mind to bring back to the office for your team or for your own business that you'd like to take back to work today? No, no problem. Maybe if I talk about the next one, then more people will have something to share and ask about. Because the next one is about being empowered. And I like the word empower. In my company, my tagline is empower teams, spearhead growth. I love this word empower. Empower means not to micromanage your team more. You see, there's a similarity in everything I'm saying through efficiency, through evolution, and also through empower, which is to create a feeling of trust and to create a feeling of ownership and accountability so that the individual that is working for you in your team feels more empowered to create better decisions for the end outcome. Yeah, it does not mean micromanaging more. Someone had told me, oh, you know, every day at 8 o'clock, work starts at 9 o'clock. Every day at 8 o'clock, I make everyone join a Zoom call and I tell everyone to tell me what they are doing today because I need to know I'm paying people for the right amount and they are doing enough things for the salary I'm giving them. Nobody is going to feel empowered. People are going to feel like that's military type of working style with no trust and no safety to share anything bad, right? So that is a good example of what not to do. When we empower teams, it means the role for the individual is extremely clear-cut. This is your direct role. This is your goal. This is the expectation. And this is the outcome that I want from you. when we have this clear structured role, what happens is that decentralization of everyone's role can happen, and they become empowered to adapt quickly in any kind of uncertain times. Because I know in my ship, in my boat, I need to make sure these 4 bullet points perform. And I know that I am empowered to do what is necessary to create whatever changes and shifts for that performance, right? Especially if you have a local focus, local market, local focus. When you are empowered, decision-making can happen on the ground in a faster pace because local teams understand local problems better. And this is for people who have regional kind of responsibilities, yeah? So when you have greater responsiveness to what is happening on the ground, it could be preferences, it could be changing consumer choices, it could be a certain company who just came up with a product that is eating into your market share. You can have greater responsiveness that could mean make or break to your business profit for that quarter, that month, or whatever. Now, what not to do is the instinct of many leaders is I retain all control. And of course, if you are the boss of the team or the boss of the business, you are in control. But creating an environment that is decentralized allows people to feel empowered, owning the end process, owning the outcome, and feeling that they are more adaptable to any changes in the market. Especially pre-recession, if we think there's going to be a downturn, having the individual team members understand that they are able to voice out their concerns or to talk about how they would like extra support or how the customers is changing is crucial to what might be happening in the future. Rather than just sitting back and saying, okay, whatever happens, happens, it's not my problem. That is the other side of retaining control, where the team doesn't feel ownership, doesn't feel accountable, doesn't feel empowered. So that empowerment is very important in having each member of the team feedback, make decisions, act on changes, and win at the end of the day. The last point in empower is balance, right? Of course, as business owners, we cannot take in every single dip and turn and this and that and all the plates that are spinning. This is how I'm coaching people, is about retaining balance in life while creating success. Because we want to keep certain areas of decision-making close to us. But by empowering certain people in the team, we are delegating some of the responsibility on areas that have the input to their role. This allows them to respond to the ground quickly so that at the end of the day, all the responsibility around control doesn't sit on your shoulders. Now, this is very important. And again, if you're a small team, understanding that this aspect of the business, that aspect of the business, each one has its boundary. So you're not feeling too scattered or too multitasking like an octopus at all times, which can cause stress or anxiety and burnout. So having that balance to make key decisions in a prioritization sort of matrix of how it matters to the business, how it matters to the customer, how it matters to the product is very important as well. So that is around empower. So we didn't have any questions for evolution. So maybe for evolution and empowering teams or roles and responsibilities, does anyone have any comments or any questions to ask or thoughts to share?
Anyone, if you want to ask, I can allow you to talk. Pak Haryanto, from Makassar.
Oh, I've been to Makassar. I went to Raja Sate. It was great.
Okay, Pak Haryanto, any comment from your experience?
Okay.
Can speak in bahasa also can, Pak.
Ya, saya menyimak aja dulu, Pak. Menyimak aja. Saya.
Oke.
Ruby bisa bahasa Indonesia, Pak?
Iya, bisa.
Oke, menyimak dulu. Okay, any other who wants to talk?
Around empowerment, around evolution. How can you empower yourself or your team today? Empower is not a fancy word. It's just about regaining some form of control in understanding what you can do to the best possible self that you have.
Okay, I can give a comment.
Okay.
For me, when I conduct the event like this, actually not only I organize the event, but also I learn any positive talk from the speaker, from the audience, from the situation. Because I believe as an entrepreneur, we cannot stop to learn. When we stop to learn, so the empowerment cannot happen. And this number one. Number two, also learn from the mistake. Sometimes we have a lot of mistake in the past, but sometimes we cannot learn in the school. When we go to the marketplace, this is a real jungle for the entrepreneur. I think this is for me.
That's great. And that is like reminding me of this phrase of lifelong learning, right? Like in terms of always being positive to take any outcome or any sharing or any lesson to bring back to your life. That is so important. I am a firm believer that in life, the end goal is feeling good and happiness. So how can I help people create results and high performance? And I share that at the end of the day, I want the person to be happy. And especially when you share that, Stephanus, you are sharing it in a very happy way. I'm happy to learn from anyone and anything, anywhere. That's great. Thank you. Anybody else have anything to share around how to help yourself feel more empowered? How to help yourself feel able to delegate to teams? How to help your business, how to help yourself create evolution in your teams or your business processes. Anyone else have anything to share or ask? Okay. So in a nutshell, that is all I wanted to share today in terms of these 3 ways to create empowerment, evolution, and efficiency in the business. Because if we create these 3 things, it's like a jigsaw puzzle that we have. With these 3, we are able to handle any kind of downturn in the economy better in the future. Because when we have the ability to create efficiency in product, we have the ability to create evolution in teams, and we have the ability to empower the people around us. That itself is success. So I thank you so much for listening to me through this, and for sharing with me, for those who spoke as well, for sharing with me certain things. I am so happy to take in any question about business growth, about leadership, about handling downturn, or like maybe product development. Any kind of question you want to ask me around business growth, I'm happy to open the floor to have any sharing or questions right now. Otherwise, that is the end of my presentation.
Thank you very much, Rubyni, it's quite interesting. So
Yes.
anyone who wants to ask question or speak to us, let us know. We will give allow to talk. Anyone?
Nobody right now.
Nobody. Okay. If how, Rubyni, if they want to connect with you, connect with this email and this social media, right?
Actually, they can scan this QR code and it comes to my calendar, my call link.
Okay.
So if you want to call or talk to me about any of these topics, you can scan this QR code here now. If not, you can send me an email at this email link.
Okay. Yeah, this one. This topic is quite interesting, especially after the pandemic. Now is the people getting started again.
Yes.
And many changes in the leadership role, especially like us, small medium enterprise. And in Singapore, even after the budget 2023, we can see the government support to the SME in Singapore is more double and double. But not only we get facility, but we need to also to empower ourselves as a leader. Rubyni, any last word for our discussion today? If no question from the audience.
Any last word is, I think in terms of, I always believe for anyone leading a team or business, mindset comes first and emotional balance comes first. Then we can empower other people to create higher performance so that everyone gets the results and the revenue and the profit at the end of the day. And I wish all of you all the best. And thank you for listening to me for the last 45 minutes. And that's all from me, Stephanus. Yes.
Thank you very much, Rubyni.
Thank you.
And yes, after we almost 1 hour from 4 p.m. Singapore time, now almost 5 p.m. So because we don't have any question and any comment, now we will end our presentation and our BISA online weekly. So we can see again next time to the event, and hopefully stay healthy and stay success to all of us. See you and post Valentine yesterday. Okay, still have a Valentine mood. I have my flower in my home from Andrea. My wife is always like, okay, see you, bye. Yeah.
See you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.